Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you're doing well. If you've seen this channel before, you'll know that we don't discriminate against the women's game. We support the women's game. But we have to call out mismatches when we see them. And at the weekend, we've got what, on paper at least, I know fights are not fought on paper, but it's a vacant IBF welterweight title between Natasha Jonas, who is currently a unified super welterweight belt holder, and Kandi Wyatt of Canada, who is 11 wins with 3 KOs, 4 defeats, 2 by stoppage and no draws. Natasha's 13 wins with 8 early stoppages, 2 defeats and 1 draw. Now, you might think, well, that doesn't sound too bad, but let's first of all go through Natasha Jonas's record, because I think you know her, you know about Natasha Jonas. She got 2 defeats. She lost to Vivian Obernerf by 4-round stoppage in 2018. Bounced back, drew with Terry Harper in a fight I thought she won. That was in 2020, and then in 2021 she took on Katie Taylor for the undisputed lightweight title and lost a very competitive fight on points, over 10. And she then jumped up 3 weight divisions. Was it 3 weight divisions? Yeah, 3 weight divisions. And took on Chris Namas of Uruguay and stopped her in 2 rounds. That was for the vacant WBO super welterweight title. Namas, in her following fight, was knocked out in a round. It was either she never had it or she was way past it, because it was a gimme really for Jonas, even though she jumped up 3 weights. But she did beat Patricia Bergelt, who was previously undefeated, that was for the WBC and WBO titles. And Bergelt was undefeated in 15. And then she took on took on Marie-Eve Declaire, and that was for the IBF, the WBC and the WBO titles. And she beat her over 10, and Declaire had an 18-1 record coming in. So even though she had that gimme for the vacant belt, she then won 2 belts against girls who had very good records and were good fighters. Now she's dropping down to welterweight to take on Kandy Wyatt. But let's have a look at Kandi Wyatt's record. Now, Kandi is from Canada, and you may know her from a 2021 fight with Jessica McCaskill, which was for the undisputed welterweight title, and she got stopped in 7 rounds, and McCaskill just beat her up. I mean, Kandi was game as hell, but didn't show a lot of technique or sophistication. There wasn't a lot of schooling there, and McCaskill loves a row, loves a punch-up, loves a up-close and personal exchange of punches, and she got the better of Kandi and stopped her in 7. But the thing was, that was for the undisputed welterweight title, and Kandi had lost her previous 2 fights on points. One was an 8-rounder and one was a 10-rounder, so that was her 3rd defeat in a row. And since then, since the 2021 McCaskill fight, she fought Kirsty Babington, who, you know, is a good, honest fighter, but you wouldn't call her world class, and won a split decision over 10. That's her only fight. So apart from that win, she's lost 3 of her last 4, and yet she's getting this it's an IBF, vacant IBF world welterweight title fight against Natasha, who's flying. Now, okay, Natasha's moving down a division, but that doesn't matter because she was never a super welterweight anyway. She fought Katie Taylor at lightweight. She actually did fight some of her fights at super featherweight. But this is what happens in women's boxing. You've got this dearth of talent. You've got, you know, women at the top like Natasha Jonas, who are extremely good fighters. You know, very good fighter. Katie Taylor, Samantha Serana, Savannah Marshall, obviously Clarissa Shields and Baumgardner. You know, all legitimate world-class fighters, good fighters. And then you haven't got that middle group, and then you've got fighters who are sort of much lower. And this video is not to sort of belittle anyone. Anyone who gets in the ring I respect, male or female, no matter what their level of ability is. But as a result, this sort of shallow gene pool of female fighting talent, you get situations like this where your Natasha Jonases, your Clarissa Shields, your Katie Taylors, Baumgardner, you know, all of them, all the good ones can pick up belts willy-nilly all over the place. You know, look at Amanda Serana. She's jumped up and down weight divisions alarmingly. I mean, going from what is it, featherweight up to middleweight or so, I can't remember offhand, but flyweight to lightweight or something like that. I mean, it's if you don't have the opponents, you will get these mismatches, like Chris Namas against Natasha Jonas for that vacant belt. Now you've got Kandi Wyatt against Natasha Jonas for another vacant belt, and Kandi Wyatt hasn't earned this opportunity, not by a long shot. And again, I'm not slagging her off. I'm not saying that she's, you know, she's not a brave woman. I'm not saying she doesn't have the motivation. I'm not saying she's not a good example to young girls coming up who want to be fighters, because she will take anyone on. But the point is, you know, you can't have this sort of thing going on. If you want the women's game to become legitimate, if you want it to be respected, when you've got a girl coming in who's lost 3 of her last 4, one by stoppage, and suddenly a split decision over Kirsty Babington, who at the time was 7 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats, suddenly that gets you a shot at a vacant belt. So it comes as no surprise. I'm not even going to go into the technical breakdown. I mean, Natasha's very skillful. Kandy's a come-forward girl, tries to throw a lot of punches, tries to outmuscle her. She ain't going to get anywhere with Natasha Jonas. You know, Jonas is too slick, too good, and hits hard. She's got eight stoppages in her 13 wins. So I see this as complete one-way traffic. I think Natasha will stop Kandy between, what shall I go for, the 6th and the 8th, something like that. 6, 7, 8, those sort of rounds. I think she'll beat her up, the referee will step in, or the corner will throw the towel in, or she'll get retired on a stool, and Natasha will become a 2-weight world champion. But it's a disappointing matchup as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, and women's boxing will not progress. I mean, it's made great strides over the last 10 years, to immense, like, quantum leaps, but it won't go further if we have too many of these mismatches. We don't need it. We don't need it. Anyway, you can only beat what's in front of you, so good luck to Natasha Jonas. And if Kandy Wyatt wins, what can I say? That's a Cinderella story. You know, yes, you are going to the ball. You know, it's good luck to her. Good luck to them both. May the best woman win, but I think we can say that's probably going to be Natasha. Anyway, thanks for listening. Let me know your thoughts about this fight, the women's game, whatever you want to talk about. I'll read them and I'll answer. Like the video if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button to build up the numbers. We want to get Joe Stunner Boxing out there, and your help is always appreciated. Until we speak again soon, see you later. Bye for now.